Hi everyone, welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
I'm Anthony.
Today's date is January 26th. And for the next 2 days, we're going to be looking at pages 50 to 53 under leisure or leisure. Having fun at a computer-themed playground.
没错，又到了我们休闲小站的单元哦。我们今天要讲的主题呢是玩转电脑主题游乐场。哇，听到游乐场我就开心了。我想说啊，这个应该是很有趣的主题，对不对？这边提到这个 playground， 我第一个提到游乐场的时候，我可能会想到那个 video arcade。或者是类似像是那种电动玩具店的这种游乐场，可是事实上他这边讲的游乐场有点像是公园的这种游乐场哦。所以 having fun at a computer-themed playground， 那什么叫做电脑主题的游乐场呢？这是一个很有趣的地方。它是在哪里呢？就是在Helsinki， 赫尔辛基这里。我们来看一下它的副标题，他说 Learning through play。The Helsinki way， 就是只用赫尔辛基的风格来学习，在游戏中学习。
I like how that rhymes too. It's always good to have a title that rhymes. All right, let's get started.
Having fun at a computer-themed playground. Computers and electronic devices are everywhere in modern life. From work and school to entertainment and communication. Children today often spend more time staring at screens than playing outdoors. But in Helsinki, Finland, a new approach is turning that trend on its head. A space where kids can explore computing concepts without ever touching a screen. Playground Ruoholahti is a computer-themed playground that combines physical activity with digital thinking. It features big versions of a desktop computer, keyboard, mobile phone, and game controller. The playground encourages children to engage in active play while thinking about the logic behind these devices. More than just visual displays, the playground includes interactive elements that teach children about flowcharts, binary numbers, and basic programming through physical play. The playground also invites children to climb, crawl, roll, and slide. These activities are designed to show how data flows, or how computer systems work in a playful way. Linda Aliokas, the author of several coding books, developed the concept with a Finnish architectural firm and a Danish playground manufacturer. Educational experts, teachers, and local children also helped with the design.
Computers and electronic devices are everywhere in modern life. From work and school to entertainment and communication.
好，我们来先看第一段的第一句话，告诉我们说 computers and electronic devices。好 ，electronic devices 这个词哈，我觉得蛮喜欢的。比方说，我们用的这个平板电脑啦、手机啦，都是我们这种电子产品、电子设备，我们就可以用 electronic devices 来表达这样的概念。然后他说 are everywhere in modern life。好，就在生活当中，现代生活当中无所不在的这种电子设备啦，跟电脑 ，from work and school to entertainment and communication。好，在这边他告诉你说，从工作啦、学校到娱乐啦、沟通，我们都逃不了这个电子设备的纠缠。
Yes. So electronic devices, a device is something that is created with a special function, okay? Like a remote control is a device to control your TV. Okay, so that is what a device is. And a lot of times in English, instead of saying electronic devices, we will just say electronics, okay? And then this is the equivalent to Taiwan when we say 3C 产品. Yeah, I always wondered, like, why do we say 3C 产品? But I went to go look it up. It's because it stands for computer, communication, and consumer electronics. So these all start with C, so that is what the 3C stands for. Okay, but in English, we don't say 3C, We don't say 3C, we say electronics. Okay?
没错。
All right, and then I like the range that they have here from work and school to entertainment and communication. Because a lot of times we know we could say like from A to B, right? So from work to home. So these both are locations. But here they're choosing to put work and school as the A, and then to entertainment and communication. It's kind of like a different category, right? The work and school is location, and entertainment and communication is another category. So just pay attention. The range doesn't always have to be the same kind of thing. It can be two different kinds of things.
没错，这个地方特别注意一下，这个 work and school， 你可以把它打一个框框，它是一个 from A to B 的 A， 然后 B 的部分就是 entertainment and communication， 然后把这两个东西把它框成一个框框。
但是要注意，就是不能就是 from work and entertainment to school and communication， 就是这样子分就会有点奇怪。
奇怪了，对，那个分类就怪怪的。
对。Children today often spend more time staring at screens than playing outdoors.
好，下一句话告诉你说 ，Children today， 好，小朋友到了现在呢，怎么样 ？Often spend more time staring at screens， 大部分的时间都是紧盯着荧幕嘛，对不对？就看着荧幕。Than playing outdoors， 啊，这个 outdoors 是副词，只是在户外玩耍的意思。所以当你今天说 often do A than do B， 好，比如这个地方你可以说这个 spend more time than， 然后后面接 VING， 就代表是说 than 做另外一件事情。所以他们现在的话比较花时间是 staring at screens。Then playing outdoors， 这个 staring at 跟这个 playing outdoor 刚好是有点像是第一个跟第二个项目，它们是平行的结构，这样就清楚了。
And also in this sentence, today doesn't mean today. It means in recent years or nowadays. 在如今, okay? And this sentence, 因为它有 more time staring at screens than playing outdoors, 我们就知道他们比较偏在看荧幕而不是出去外面玩。但是 if this sentence didn't have than playing outdoors, if it just said children today often spend more time staring at screens, that would just imply that they used to do that anyways, but now they spend even more time. So when you see more, we know that there's going to be a comparison to something. Okay, so just pay attention when you see that. What is it comparing to? Okay? But in Helsinki, Finland, a new approach is turning that trend on its head, a space where kids can explore computing concepts without ever touching a screen.
哇，接下来你看这句话说 ，But in Helsinki， 好，在这个赫尔辛基啊，芬兰这个地方呢 ，a new approach。这边注意一下 ，approach 这个字，它当名词使用的时候 ，a new method， 它就是方法的意思。Method 的拼法是 method， 就是新的方法。那平常你看到 approach 的时候，多半是靠近。比方说你去搭捷运的时候，他说 the train is approaching， 就是说哦，列车即将进站，即将靠站，对不对？好，在这里的话，我们这边不是靠近的意思。A new approach 指的是新的方法。他说 A new approach is turning that trend on its head. If you say turn something on its head， 指的是让它完全改了一个方向，180度的转变。比方说，今天我们原本讲的说我们的考古学家说发现恐龙呢是吃肉的，然后后来发现其实他们的这个肠胃道呢其实是吃素的。好像这个新发现。把这个原本的想法彻底的翻转了，彻底的颠覆了。你也可以用 turns the theory on its head， 用这种方式去表达这样的概念。所以它现在有一个新的方式，完完全全颠覆了这样的趋势。这个趋势我们用 trend 这个字 ，trend trend on its head， 它就告诉你说 ，a space where kids can explore computing concepts without ever touching a screen。居然呢，他们可以创造一个这个环境，让孩童完全不用接触荧幕，不用去触碰荧幕呢，就可以去了解 computing concepts， 就是能了解说，我们如何使用电脑来应用这些概念，他可以去慢慢从这个游戏中学到。
Yes, and one thing I want to point out grammatically, in English, when we're writing out a city and the country, in Chinese, I think usually we tend to put the country first and then the city, but it's the opposite in English. We usually put the city first, comma, and then the name of the country. Right? In this particular sentence, I just want you to know why we have two commas so close to each other. The first comma is separating the city from the country, And then the second comma is because that's the beginning of the setting. But in Helsinki, Finland, comma, a new approach, blah, 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 blah. So just know why there's two commas so close to each other there. Okay, let's take a short break. Playground Ruoholahti is a computer-themed playground that combines physical activity with digital thinking.
好，我们来看这一段的第一句话，他说 Playground Ruoholahti。好，它这个 Ruoholahti 的话，它是这个芬兰语哦，我们也去听过，但是我们就尽可能的就把它的声音表达出来哦。可能如果没有那么准，没关系。它这边中文是叫做草湾游乐场。好 ，is a computer-themed playground， 它是一种电脑的主题游乐场 that combines physical activity with digital thinking， 它能够把体能的这种活动跟这种数位化的思维方式能够结合在一起。当你今天提到 combine A with B 的时候，就是把两者结合 ，you put two things together。在这里的话呢，我们可以用 combine physical activity with digital thinking。这个 with 帮我把它圈起来，它常常会跟 combine 来合并使用哦。
So instead of combine, you could also use verbs like mix, right? And mix is physical activity with digital thinking. Anytime you see the word physical, it usually means that the body is involved. So physical activity are activities you have to do with your body or by moving around. And digital thinking, whenever you see digital, that usually means that it's related to or you're using the computer or the internet. Okay, so digital thinking is like thinking that you do when you're using technology. It features big versions of a desktop computer, keyboard, mobile phone, and game controller.
好，我们来看下一句话，告诉你说 it features。当你用到 feature 这个字的时候，它如果当动词使用，你后面就直接接它的特色，所以你可以说 it 指的是这个 the playground features big versions of a desktop computer， 好，就是那种桌上型电脑 keyboard。Mobile phone， 老师刚刚提到是 mobile phone， 这两个声音都是可以的 ，mobile 两个都行。And game controller， 它里面就把这东西都放大，像是桌上型电脑啦 ，keyboard 键盘啦，好，还有手机 mobile phone， 还有游戏控制器的 game controller， 它这些东西都放大，变得是哇，你可以用身体去跟它互动。
如果更口语的话，这个 features 我可能会讲 has. It has big versions of a desktop computer. But when we're writing in English, we tend to want to use different types of verbs and more complex verbs to make our writing better. Okay. The playground encourages children to engage in active play while thinking about the logic behind these devices.
好，接下来告诉你说为什么了。他说 The playground encourages children， 这个游乐场呢，就是要去鼓励这些小朋友to engage in active play， 好，想办法让去参与 engage in， 后面接的是活动，然后 while thinking about the logic behind these devices， 这边特别注意一下 while 这个词的话，我们之前有提过 while 当作是虽然的感觉，但这个地方它指的是同时又能够，所以在这边的话，你这个 while 你可以帮我在下面写 at the same time， 它这边指的意思是在同时又可以 thinking about the logic behind these devices， 就能去思考一下这些装置背后的逻辑，然后变成是说他在玩的过程当中，很快的也就内化了这些我在编写程式啊或什么的，它的那个逻辑顺序是什么
？So this sentence, if it just said the playground encourages children, this is grammatically correct. 就是说它只是鼓励小孩子。But 如果是鼓励他去做某一件事情 we will have to engage in. Okay, so make sure you know that how to use that grammatically. To engage in active play. To engage in something means to take part in something or to participate in something. And here we see active play. I think this is just another way to say physical activity. So, you don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. So it's always good to find like a creative way to say the same thing. When you're doing something actively, that means that you're moving your body to do it. So active play means you're playing you're playing using your body.
没错。
Okay. All right, so let's take a short break. More than just visual displays, the playground includes interactive elements that teach children about flowcharts, binary numbers, and basic programming through physical play.
好，我们来看这一段的第一句话，他说 more than just visual displays。好，这个 visual displays 的意思就是指这种视觉上的这种展示哦。visual 这个字是跟眼睛有关系的，很多时候你会看到像 audio visual，好，就是指这种视听设备啊，好，他们常常就用 visual 这个字来表达，好，就是指视觉上，不只是视觉上展示哦。The playground includes interactive elements， 这种互动的一个这样的元素 that teach children about flowcharts， flowcharts、binary numbers and basic programming through physical play。所以它可以透过这种体能上的这种活动呢，去教导孩子流程图的概念。flowcharts 就是流程图，然后二进位制 binary numbers， 好，就指这个0101这样的这种方式，好，编写程式的方式 ，and basic programming， 还有基础程式设计的这些概念。
Yes, and then through physical play, this preposition, you could think of it as via or in the way of or using physical play. And I like how they use physical play because we already use physical activity, we already use active play, and now they're using physical and putting play instead of activity. So the author really did spend a lot of time thinking about different ways to say the same thing so it doesn't sound repetitive. Okay, and I like how this sentence started out too. More than just visual displays. When you want to emphasize that there's additional or deeper meaning to something, or there's more significant qualities beyond what we've already talked about, or beyond what is beyond visual displays, this is a good way to start the sentence. More than just visual displays. That means that whatever we're talking about afterwards is like more than what you usually would think about, like what you wouldn't expect.
没错。如果要额外的去说明一下，除了这些之外，还有什么什么东西的时候，像你看到这个 more than just 后面接上一个名词，是我们常常可以使用的表达方式。
The playground also invites children to climb, crawl, roll, and slide.
好，他说 The playground also invites children to， 好，我们做了这些动作 ，climb 就是爬，对不对？就是往上爬 ，crawl 就是在地上那种爬行 ，roll 翻滚 ，and slide 从上面溜下来。这个 slide 也可以当做是溜滑梯嘛，所以说它事实上是有创造很多很多让孩子用体能去感受的机会。
And I like the use of the verb invites children to climb or do these actions. Because you could also say the playground also allows children to climb and these other actions. But when you say invite, it sounds more polite. Like it kind of, encourages them to do this. Yeah. So I think invite is a really interesting choice there.
Yeah.
These activities are designed to show how data flows or how computer systems work in a playful way.
好，接下来他就告诉你说 ，these activities 这些活动呢 are designed 就是被设计用来做什么事情 ？To show how data flows 啊，到底这个资料啊是怎么样在运作？所以像每一个这个小朋友在那边爬的过程当中，他就每一笔的资料那种感觉，他可以感受到哦，我是这个资料啊，我是一个 folder， 好，然后就开始这样哇这样跑。And how computer systems work.In a playful way. In a playful way 就是用一种游戏的方式去让孩子体会到说，哦，我是小资料，我在里面跑，好，在这个电脑里面跑来跑去的感觉，大概就是这样。
And this work in this sentence, it's not 工作, right? It means how it functions, okay? In a playful way, this way we could also use the word manner. M-A-N-N-E-R, okay? Manners又是另外一个字，就是礼貌 right? But manner can also be like a way of doing something.
没有错。
All right, let's take a short break. Linda Liukas, the author of several coding books, developed the concept with a Finnish architectural firm and a Danish playground manufacturer.
好，我们来先看一下这句话哦。他说 Linda Liukas， 我们碰到一个人，他这个人是做什么呢？ The author of several coding books， 好 ，coding books 就是指这种程式设计啊，好，就是写这个程式码啊等等这样的书籍，好多本书都是他出，他是一个作者。Developed the concept， 好，就是创造出了这样子的一个概念。With a Finnish architectural firm， 就是他跟一家芬兰的建筑公司一起合起来，合力的去创造了这样的概念。 and a Danish playground manufacturer， 还有一家丹麦的这种游戏玩具的这种制造商一起合作去打造出这样的一个 playground。
So here we see Linda Leokas, and then we have a comma, the author of several coding books, comma. So all the information in between these two commas is just additional information and is telling us a little bit more about this particular person. Linda Leokas. So if you took this part out, this sentence would still work. It's just a good way to share a little bit of additional information that doesn't affect the main sentence using these commas. Okay, so that's one way to do it grammatically. Linda Leokas developed the concept with a Finnish. Okay, so Finnish is the like the adjective of anything from Finland. Okay, so Finnish architectural firm. I want to talk about the difference between a firm and a company. Okay, that might be confusing to some because in Chinese it's all 公司.
Yeah.
Right? But when you talk about a firm, it usually means that it provides professional services. So you would say a law firm or an accounting firm or in this situation, architectural firm. Okay, so a company is just, it sells goods. Okay, it doesn't provide a service, a professional service.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the difference.
没错，所以老师刚刚特别提到了 firm 这个字，他如果今天提到用 firm 这个字来表达公司的时候，它多半是提供一种专业的服务，比方说你常常听到 law firms 法律事务所、accounting firms 会计师事务所等等。如果说今天你提到是 company 的话，大部分人会想到就是就是制造很多东西去卖的，它不是提供服务，它是可能是提供商品这样的感觉。所以提到 firm 跟 company， 虽然中文都叫公司，但是听到外国人的耳朵里头，他们对这个公司的想象会不一样。
Yes, and then Danish is the adjective form of anything from Denmark. Okay.
丹麦。
Yes, so that's, I think, a little confusing because it looks totally different from Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then manufacturer, another way to say that is manufacturing company. Because a lot of times I think when people see ER at the end of a word, we think it's a person, right? But in this situation, it's a company, okay?
Yeah.
Educational experts, teachers, and local children also helped with the design.
好，所以在这边的话就告诉你说，还有什么其他人来协助参与，共同创造出这个 playground 呢 ？Educational experts， 好，就是这种教育方面的专家啦。Teachers， 好，当地的这个老师啦 ，and local children， 还有小朋友，对不对？我们是使用者，对不对？
Right.
我也要加入这个讨论，对不对？哈 ，also helped with the design， 就是也协助了好这个设计，整个这个 playground 的设计啊等等，它也有他们的参与。
Yeah, so tomorrow's lesson, we're going to continue learning more about this really cool computer-themed playground. So we hope to see you then.
Bye bye.